The problem with white liberals when it comes to the Black community is that they don't even realize that they're doing more harm than good. And I firmly and wholeheartedly know to be true that for most of them, it's coming from a loving, compassionate, kind-hearted place, but it's still objectively causing harm. The white liberal sees the Black community as a community that needs to be safe. We need to add further protections for the Black community. We need to rewrite laws for the Black community. We need to hand out government assistance, to keep helping the Black community. When all that's doing is keeping them in a self-destructive cycle. Rely on handouts, rely on the government, rely on external help. And I'm sorry, but this is a form of bigotry. It's not your intention, but it's backhanded and it's there. You can't succeed without my help. That's racism. Not one of the messages in the liberal policy for the Black community is, you are great on your own, you just need to see it. And that's what conservatives have been trying to say for years and years. You don't need liberals in office or an immense amount of government assistance to be great. You are great. Just get out of your own way. Get out of the influence that makes you feel like you don't have a place in this world outside of your community, outside of drinking or drugs or music. And if this wasn't the truth, then why do we have Black doctors, Black scientists, Black authors, Black surgeons, Black engineers, Black professors, Black teachers? Hell, we had a Black president who wouldn't have been elected without the white vote. The only thing stopping the Black community from being the best it can possibly be is liberal ideology. Instead of passing out standards to the Black community, all you do is pass out sympathy. And you excuse destructive choices just so they don't feel excluded from your love. And again, I know it's coming from a good place, but that's not allyship. I know that the Black community has an incredibly dark past, but so do most cultures and races. The Jewish community survived a genocide and rebuilt their entire country with some of the smartest people on the planet. The Asian community were thrown in internment camps, millions of them. And they rebuilt, and again, now they're dominating most of our professional world and our universities. There is no reason that the Black community cannot do the same. The only thing stopping them is you, the white liberal, convincing them that without your assistance, they can't rebuild like those other communities did. You convince them every single day that they are too weak, too broken, and too damaged and traumatized to do anything on their own. And you don't think that's a form of holding someone back?
Malcolm X once said that the white liberal is the biggest enemy to the Black man. I didn't understand that quote fully for a long time, but now I see it clearer than day. I read something once that described this perfectly. I think it was Akala's book, Natives. This isn't verbatim, but it was something along the lines of, liberals will cosplay as people with good values as long as it fits their aesthetic, but when push actually comes to shove and when things potentially are going to get ugly, they dip. I had a bit of an existential crisis recently because a lot of the lefty friends in my area aren't coming to the fundraisers that I've organised. They're not coming with me on protests. They're not coming with me on counter demos. A lot of their excuses for not attending these things is because their mental health is too poor, but they have seemed got the energy to go to pride events or festivals. And I'm not saying that these people are bad people, but if you're only ever showing up and showing off your lefty politics in person at things where it's all lollipops and rainbows, I don't think you're as much of an ally as you think that you are. It's all very well thinking, I'm against what's happening in the UK, I'm against rising fascism, I'm against racism, I want a liberated Palestine. But if you're only ever thinking those things and it's not relaying into actual, in real life action, you are just a lefty in theory and not in practicality. And I am a strong believer that you are only as good as your actions. And by the way, I know that there are lots of different ways that you can show your activism. If you're not going out to protest because you're scared of showing your face or whatever, maybe you're donating or something. I hope that you are. And a lot of the time, in fact, more often than not, the excuses that these people give for not being at these actions is their mental health, which, I'm sorry, I just find that an absurdly privileged take. Going back to how I said a lot of them are still attending pride events, for example, I would bet my bottom quid that around the time of the Stonewall riots, these liberal types would have been nowhere to be seen. And this is kind of the point I'm trying to get to, is that you can't just decide that you're on board with something and start showing your face at something whilst other people have fought the fight to make it safe for you. That's another thing that keeps coming up with these excuses of, oh, I don't feel safe, I don't want to put myself in that position. And in reality, if you're white, you are safer than most in this country right now. When I go to these events, when I go to these fundraisers and the local demos and the larger demos up in London, I look around. Who am I largely surrounded by? People of colour, LGBT people, neurospicy people. or people who have known oppression. Back to the original Malcolm X quote that I started this video with. Why are white liberals so dangerous to the black man or to people of colour in general? Because they pretend to be allies. But when it comes to actually showing up, they disappear. I'm not making this video to talk down to anyone, to put myself on a pedestal. I'm saying this because I know that a lot of the white liberal lefty friends that I have do have good values, but I'm confused why you're not really acting on them. And just remember, the Nazis in World War II, it wasn't just the Nazis responsible for what happened to all of those people. It was also the bystanders who, for one reason or another, didn't get involved in stopping it. You are only as good as your actions, so ask yourself, are you doing enough?
This goes out to all the white liberal women that foam at the mouth at the word abortion and just love Planned Parenthood. Now, since y'all love giving people history lessons, let me give you one. Okay, Margaret Sanger, the creator of Planned Parenthood, was a eugenicist. Margaret Sanger supported the idea that we should control who gets to reproduce. This meant trying to boost so-called superior genes and suppressing inferior ones, which, by the way, the inferior genes were brown and black people. This is why she started Planned Parenthood. Okay, she was a racist. She wanted to kill these babies of color. She was a white supremacist, and it's not hard to prove. Quote number 1, we should hire 3 or 4 colored ministers, preferably with social service backgrounds and with engaging personalities. The most successful educational approach to the Negro is through a religious appeal. We don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, and the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members. Number 2, eugenic sterilization is an urgent need. We must prevent multiplication of this bad stock. Number 3, the most merciful thing that a family does to one of its infant members is to kill it. And number 4, birth control must lead ultimately to a cleaner race. And guess what? Margaret Sanger succeeded. She is one of the most successful progressives. By rate, black women have the highest abortion rate in the US. Okay, it is 28.6 per 1,000 women. And by share, black and Hispanic women make up a large and disproportionate portion of abortion patients. The black community would be twice its size if it weren't for Planned Parenthood. And you could argue it was their body, it was their choice. But you can't ignore the history, you can't ignore the fact that Margaret Sanger succeeded. And you love black people so much, yet you support the killing of them. I'm gonna say it again, stop foaming at the mouth when you hear abortions. Okay, no. Please, start pushing for sex education. Start pushing for celibacy, perhaps. These white liberal women do not care about the black community, okay?
You know, every time I hear a white liberal women say that Black Lives Matters, I'm an ally, and even use the hashtags and join them during protest marches, I always ask myself, are these people trying to show they care, or are they trying to act like they care? But because sometimes you find that when the black communities are fighting over policing, housing discrimination, all of a sudden these people disappear. I guess you've gotten to hear from the clips that you have watched what they are saying about this issue and what they feel the white liberal people are doing, and they feel is not right. Because I don't understand why you have to come here online on social media and say something and say what and say, like, for example, you say that Black Lives Matters, I support a black life, and but when these people face backlashes or face some problems, you're not there to help them, you're not there to show up. But on social media, you there during protests, you there, but when these people need your help, need your actions to be done, you're no longer to be seen, and you're left wondering, why do they do such a thing? And it literally confuses the black communities, because why do you show that, or why do you show online how you care, and until people portray you like you guys are fighting for civil rights, but when it comes to real actions, you're not to be found. When these people need your help, you're no longer to be there. I really don't understand what happens there, because it's like you being forced to say something, but you don't mean it. Because once you come here and say something like, I'm supporting this, you're supporting the black communities, then people expect you, when these black communities face a certain problem, you be among the first people to show up, you being among the first people to support. but it's always the opposite. You come and say, I support them, but when these people need your help, you're not there. You're not showing up. And they're like, we thought we are allies, but when we have problems, you're not there to support us, until they feel like, do you think these people are trying to be racist, or are they trying to portray a racist in a very different dimension? You can just tell me what you think in the comment section, because it's literally crazy how you have to say something but you're not meaning it. So it kind of means that somebody forced you to say this thing, but for you deep down, you never felt about it, you never thought about it, you never even had such thoughts about it. So it feels like you are being forced by someone to say something. But what I can say to the Black communities in diaspora, be don't ever be ready, or don't always be ready to wait to be helped by someone. You can just fight on your own, be courageous, and hope things gonna work out, because once you put your trust on something, things can literally disappoint someone, because how you expecting things to work, or how you expecting things to run, they go the totally opposite. What will you do? Definitely you'll feel bad when you don't meet your expectations. So I guess we should always train ourselves to always be ready to fight, to always show up for ourselves even when you're facing problems, not always to be relying on somebody and saying that these people are gonna help us, they're gonna show up for us, they're gonna do this for us, and they disappoint you at the end of the day. I guess we are supposed to always be ready to to fight for ourselves, and be ready to run out our issues ourselves. So to the white liberal women, don't always say you care. Just try and bring your words into action. When you say something, just try to mean it. And when you think you're not in a position to do something, then just don't say, because you're confusing other people. They think we are in this together, but it's totally different. I really don't know. What do you think about all this issue in the comment section? Do you feel like these people are doing something bad to the Black community, trying to pretend they care, but in real life situations, they literally don't care about all the issues Black communities go through, and they are the first one. They were even t-shirts written Black Life Matters, but after all, they are not showing up for them once they are facing or once they are facing something very difficult for them. They're not showing up during the moments that they need them, but they're here on social media claiming that they support them. And you're wondering which support they're offering. I also don't understand. You can just tell me in the comment section, like, what do you think? What are the Black liberal women doing, which is right and which is not right? We can just interact in the comment section. And even if you have something to add about this issue, or what you feel about all this issue, you still welcome to just say it in the comment section. Yeah, that's all I have to say about this episode. I guess you've gotten to understand something, or you have gotten to learn something. Or not always to be ready to not always be ready to be assisted by someone, or not always depend on someone's help or someone's support or anything from somebody. Be ready to fight on your own. Be ready to show up for yourself. Be ready to do everything with your own strength, and it literally builds someone to a very totally different person, a courageous person, ready to face anything and always be positive minded. That's all I have to say about this episode. You can just tell me your thoughts in the comment section. And for those people who have come across my video for the very, very first time, my name is Milka, and this is my YouTube channel. You can just consider supporting this channel by just subscribing. I've actually come to realize a lot of people are watching my clips, but they are not subscribing. Please, it's my humble request, you can consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much. That's all I have to say about this episode. Let's meet on the next episode. Bye.